slowed down.
Hey, did that make it? Do we have a gag reel? Did that make it to the gag reel? Do we have a gag reel?
I'm sure it did. Yeah, you guys probably see that. But at anytime like we get a note that is so either just so obvious or something that we can completely play with, Jared and I don't even have to conversate. We don't have to like talk about it. It's just a look of just.
Yeah. He said, slow it down. We'll slow it down.
Slow it down. And so we instantly, they're like, action. And we did that so many times over the course of Supernatural. Not so many times, but
also that time specifically was a really high intensity day. I mean, that was
it was probably the most high octane day.
Yeah,
years.
We like the crew, the cast, the crew, the stunt guys and gals. Everybody needed to laugh, and we were like, okay, we know what's coming at the end of the day. We know we're about to shoot, where we're all going to be crying for 8 hours straight. So let's get this laugh in while we can. And so we just made it silly,
That's one thing that I assume I'm going to miss the most working on other shows is Jared and I had kind of a knack of when anything started to get really kind of heavy and serious, and there was a lot on the line. He and I always had a knack of just popping the bubble and taking the air out of it. And what it did was it allowed people to relax into what they needed to do. And in my opinion, it was a better product because of it. If there's so much tension and that can lead to anxiety, and that can lead to missteps, and that can lead to people forgetting their words or stumbling and they can't or making a wrong move with it. And it's just all of a sudden you take the air out of all of that and you laugh.
Yeah.
Laughter is a beautiful cure for a lot of that. And I will be forever grateful at the laughter that occurred on Supernatural.
Amen.
Yeah. Next, where we got? Tattoo Alecki. Yes, and that one's for you.
Tattoo Alecki. I'll read it. Where'd it go?
Go for it.
It's not showing up. Weird.
Boom.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think Dean would let Sam pick the music in heaven, or would it always be driver picks music, shotgun shuts the cake hole? Well, my guess, this is a question for Ackles really, but my guess is absolutely not. Especially in Dean's heaven, and you know what? In Sam's heaven, driver picks the music, shotgun shuts the cake hole. So if Sam's driving, then he picks the music. But if Dean's driving, then I think he picks music.
I agree, but I'll add to that in saying that in heaven, no matter who picks the music,
you both hear what you want to hear.
You hear what you want to hear.
So I'm hearing like, what is love? Don't
hurt me.
Fair enough. Thank you. Tattoo Alecki.
All right. Okay. I am, is it Nagar? We'll leave it at that. From Iran, what have you not done yet, but would like to do? What have you not done yet? I would follow that up by saying in the show, in life.
Yeah, there's some funny ways to go with it.
There's kind of a lot of ways to go.
I've never done black tar heroin.
Let's go with the show. Let's go with what did we, now that it's over, what did we not get to do that we would have liked to have done?
I don't know, man. Legit. I don't know. I think it's easier for me to say like what Jared would like to do. I mean, I love traveling, and I would love to continue to travel and see some spaces. I would love to learn other languages. I mean, I feel like I could live, if there were 5 Jareds right now living lives, I feel like I still wouldn't be able to do all of the things that I want to do. You know what? Then maybe my answer is I would like to learn how to just calm down and chill out, because I can't stop moving, and I would love to learn how to maybe that links over to Sam Winchester. Like, I would love for him to really be at a space. It seems like he did in the final episode, at least for a little bit. I think he was still conflicted and probably still, thoughtful and pensive about his brother and the life that he had led for so long. But just learn to be, there's a question earlier about like, what do you want to pass on to your kids? And it's some degree of sort of like peace and calm and comfort with yourself and those around you. And so I don't know if I haven't done that yet, but I like to keep on working on just being happy where I am and with who I am.
I'll go the show route. I'll say that something that I think that I would have liked to have done on Supernatural, we didn't get to do, was, and I don't think I don't think there was a reason why there was plenty of reasons why we couldn't. It was just, I think, logistics. But I would have liked to have had a crossover of some sort. I would have liked to have had, gone over to like Vampire Diaries and like just nuked them all, or gone or cut a deal with AMC and The Walking Dead and have the Impala roll in and just like Slaughterhouse-5.
By the way, that should be our one stipulation. Like, we'll do more Supernaturals, but we're only going to go into other shows and kill them all.
Yes. Oh my God.
It should be like a 12-episode season of us going like to Ozark and killing the bad guys.
That's it.
Going to like whatever else is on and just killing all the bad guys.
Talk about slumming it for the other show. Talk about a ratings dip. No,
we'd be naked.
Talk about a ratings spike. Boom, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
You changed that.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought that would have been really cool if we could have figured out some sort of a crossover. And I mean, clearly they're doing that now on a variety of shows. So I know it's not impossible, but I just don't think it made sense given the story that they're telling at the time. But that would have been fun. I would have liked to have done that. Yeah. Next, all right, this one says Jensen, so I'll take it. What happened when you were snow tubing with JJ? Oh, yeah. So I took JJ to go tubing down the snow hill down the road at the park, and she met a friend there who was the same age and who was tubing as well with her mom. And they asked if they could tube together. And so the mom was up at the top and they were like, can they go together? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It was safe. Everybody was masked up and I mean, they're in full snow gear. So, so they hop on this tube or the sled, and at the bottom of the sledding hill, which is like kind of the designated sledding hill, there's a fire hydrant. I don't know why, but it was wrapped with like a gym pad. So here they come. They're coming down, and they just start like literally beelining right off the the run right towards the fire hydrant, and I had touched the pad earlier. It was solid as a rock because it was frozen. Whatever material it was in there was not cushiony at all, and so I start making my way that way, going like, surely they're gonna move, surely they're gonna like duck out or fall over or turn or do something. No, beeline straight for this immovable object. So I just threw myself in front of the sled and in between that and the fire hydrant, and I kind of like went down to try to like take the brunt of it off of my thigh and hip, and it flipped me completely over. I did like a full NFL flip into the end zone.
Did you land on your feet?
No, I landed right square on my butt, but I had softened the impact enough for them not to have been seriously hurt. They were banged a little bit, as was I. But yeah, that's what happened. It just and I posted it, and I tried to make a joke out of it, saying like, oh, I should have just stayed there and let the camera roll, because that would have made for an epic fail video. And what kind of an influencer am I if I can't capture good, good content when it happens? But I snapped into dad mode there, and it was just like, throw your body in front of the speeding train and save your children. So that's what happened with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kmart. What's something that when you think about it, you can't help but smile? Many jib shenanigans for me. So I have been laughing out loud for what? How long since the Gil video? 2 days?
I mean, I feel like I should show him what you just did to me.
Do it. All right. Here you go, Kmart. This has been my last 2 days of laughing out loud.
So Jared just sent this to me just before we started the panel.
And I've been laughing out loud like a child.
And to preface this, I would say that I sent him a picture of myself to show him some beard updates because that's
as one does.
Because we're dumb like that and we do stupid stuff like that. So he took this beard update and decided to just try to like make it up a little, maybe make it a little snappier. So this is now going to be in my head for the rest of the day. The rest of the day. Okay, that's enough of that. I hope you all are laughing and not horrified.
I think you killed 4 more people.
Yeah.
4 died when you said you parted out the Impala. 4 more just died. The bearded Cardi B single line. So, oh man, I'm crying.
Bearded Cardi B. That sounds like a circus attraction.
I think it is. Yes, that's fine.
That's what's been making him smile for the past few.
Yeah. Well, who did? Was it Fergus who did the one of Gil?
Yeah, Fergus did Gil.
You have that one.
We have a big text thread with a lot of the cast and we all keep in touch, which is just proof that these conventions that we go on and we show we're not just faking it. We really truly are a big group of crazy friends and we enjoy each other's company and each other's banter. And we had this text thread. I think I actually started it with that picture of Rob. He had posted a picture and I had a comment about it. So I reposted it on the thread. And then that just like threw a whole conversation out of orbit. And this was one of the posts that the conversation led to.
I don't know how to push it.
It's so
There's also this. So Jensen just had a birthday. He's looking a little bit older, but he still looks good. Damn it. How do I do it?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I literally think I'm going to be fired because I'm spending probably 20 hours a day just on that app, like laughing to myself and there's like Bambaleo and it's good times.
I'll also say that Jared and I, on occasion, have been known to go back and watch the blooper reels from earlier seasons. There are some shenanigans that have happened on set that when reminded of will simply bring a smile and a chuckle and quite possibly a spit take to the face. So yeah, thanks Kmart.
I miss you. Elena Pause. Hey guys, so nice to see you. Love you. So my question is, if Sam and Dean were telling a bedtime story, what would it be about? I'm gonna go first with you, Ackles.
Yeah, go ahead because I gotta find something real quick.
Okay, shoot. Okay, bedtime story. So my kids want bedtime stories all day. I have that too.
Boom, done.
Yeah. That would work. I mean, I think we have 327 bedtime stories to choose from. My kids always want me to tell them like scary story. Like, tell me a scary story about this or that. I'd be like, well, I don't really know a scary story about this or that. And they're like, well, make one up. Like, oh, I'll make one up. And then I end up telling them a story, and they like have nightmares and sleep in our room, and they'll tell Jen, like, Dad scared us. We're having nightmares. Like, you told me to tell you a scary story. Like, I don't know what to do. So my scary story.
Do you make them up?
I make them up totally. Well, they tell me. They tell me like, they're like, can you tell a scary story about a dinosaur? I'm like, well, okay, here we go. So one time, when you
just plug the scary story into like a movie that you've seen, or plug the dinosaur into like, like Exorcist. Like there was a dinosaur laying on the bed and it was possessed by Satan.
No, mine are kind of open-ended, like because they might go to bed, in 30 seconds, and then I'll just tell the story. So like I was walking through the yard and I heard a noise, and I looked over. I didn't see anything, so I kept walking. I closed the chicken coop, and I made sure the gate was closed, and I took garbage to the street. I heard the noise again, but it was louder, and so I wanted to see what the noise was. So I walked over to the side of the house. I didn't see anything. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
It's a nothing story about like
it's like telling a ghost story with no real punchline.
Yeah, I'm just like talking until they fall asleep, and so like it carries on. Remember how we've talked about? So Ackles and I have talked about being a background actor, where you have to be like in a bar scene, and you're not the ones talking right by camera. You're behind them. Like the best thing to do is to start telling a joke that never ends. It's like, okay, a guy's walking down the street. He sees 2 girls and 3 guys crossing the other way. So the guy crosses the street, but 2 cars come. One's yellow, one's black. And so the yellow and black car pass up, and you're like that way. It feels like.
Meanwhile, the director's like, cut. What's up with the over animated background actor? Can somebody tell him to keep his arms to his side, please?
It's the only way to properly do it is to tell the longest joke of all time. If it's a 4-minute scene, like just tell a 4-minute joke that never gets to the punchline, because you're actually doing something. You're like, and then so he meets the guys. It's a guy named Jen, a girl named Jerry. So he's like, well, Jen and Jerry, shouldn't it be Jerry and Jen? And they're like, no, we're Jen and Jerry. So he starts crossing the street, sees a black and yellow car going the other way. And people are like, what? It lasts forever.
You gotta have a payoff. You gotta take a joke that has a punchline, and then you just breathe life into the, like, McDougal, the road maker.
Right.
Like you could make that one as long as you wanted, but there's still a punchline.
That's fair. But I guess when the joke is like 4 minutes long, it probably doesn't get a laugh. You can always go with like wrecked him and nearly killed him. I mean, I guess in fairness, that's probably the best thing to do. All right, I think we have another.
You could also just always go with like a series of your dad jokes.
Oh,
which are
phenomenal.
Which are pretty great.
Phenomenal.
We're going to go back a couple of questions. Krista, this is something that makes me laugh when I think about it. Jared telling the joke. Did you hear there was
What's going on?
Did you did you hear there was an explosion at a cheese factory in France? Debris was everywhere.
That's a good one. There was debris everywhere. How many times have you told that?
I can't get through it, so I don't tell it. Because oh my gosh, I don't know why. It's just so stupid.
It's so stupid.
Oh,
it's like the video. I know. My eyes are like getting.
All right, let's get.
All right.
Where are we?
We're good. Hi, Genta. Hi, Jensen and Jared. I'm Genta from Lithuania. I can say that. Thanks for doing this. Thank you. Hope you're both doing good. We are. What is your favorite stunt you did? Jumping through the window.
That's definitely top 3.
Yeah.
My reverse 180 in Baby.
Oh yeah.
I love that one. I'm trying to think if there was, because those are definitely go-to like faves.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was maybe a sleeper one that was really cool. I don't know. I'm sure. Oh, this might help jog a memory. We're not going to go through it, but did you get this?
I got a box. I got a box.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Jerry Wanick's all 15 seasons, 327.
I have a box.
Look at the size of this thing. And they're numbered.
I have the box. Oh, shit.
They're numbered too. This, like, I think he only made like 500 of them, and they're each like numbered. Yeah, this is number 6 of 550.
No, I must have it. Hey,
Yeah.
do you still have this?
Yes, the mark. Yeah, look at the first picture is though.
Awesome. Manners. Yep.
But this is so just real quick to tell the folks here.
Are they for sale or are they?
No. This was something, and he never sold them. So Jerry Wanick, our production designer, who was with us every season, and designed all the sets that you see. I mean, from the layout of a motel room to the wallpaper on. Yeah. And he would document and go in and take pictures. And every year at the end of the season, we would get these little coffee table books that were a series of his photos that he had taken of the sets throughout the season. And he has compiled not just his sets pictures, but also just behind the scene pictures of, as you can see, it says 15 seasons, 327 episodes, into a substantial, this is the back of it, into a substantial book. And I flipped through it, and it jogs a lot of memories, dude. It's pretty cool. It's like a high school yearbook if high school lasted for 15 years.
Which it did for some people.
Yeah. Stop talking about my uncle.
Dad.
All right. Moving on. So Irina from Russia, what would have happened if Sam had been in Dean's place? Would Dean have been able to live without his brother?
I'll do that. So that little rebar couldn't have pierced my lats. We would have had like 5 more seasons because that wouldn't have hurt me.
Yeah, Sam would have gone into the rebar, and the rebar would have come out the other side of the post. So, you freaking ox.
Shit.
So I'll touch on that. I touched on this a little bit in the meet and greet a couple times in my one-on-ones. Is that I think this was the proper way to go, because I think of the two brothers, Sam was probably the one that was most likely to be able to find purpose in life outside of his brother, and to find love and a reason to keep going. And I think that Sam always had more of that kind of macro vision of life, whereas Dean was much more micro, and probably the loss of his brother would have been the beginning of the end of him. I think that he would have probably just wasted away in the back of a pool hall. I think it was better, in my opinion, that Dean was the one to go, and Sam was the only one, obviously, in my opinion, to have the capability of finding a way to live life without his brother. Not to say that, he didn't need he needed his brother, but he was, I think just more intelligently able to navigate life. Dean wouldn't have been able to do it, I don't think, in my opinion. I just think those are major different characteristics of those two characters, is that Sam was able to
also, I think Sam was able to know, like, Dean would come back to life and kick my ass if I kept hunting. Like, he didn't, he brought me, like, Dean brought Sam back into the world.
Right.
And I think Dean really wanted Sam to be able to get out of the world.
Well, and I also think Sam was not only just finding a life beyond his brother dying for himself. I think he was finding a life beyond his brother dying for his brother. And so I think Sam was a character capable of understanding that and understanding the weight of that emotion. And I don't know if Dean would be able to process that in a positive way.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I think this is our last question. Busey. Buse? Okay. Hi from Turkey. Hi. My question is to both of you. What song reminds you of your character on SPN? So this is kind of funny. My alarm, I have an iPhone, and my alarm, you can like set your alarm to be whatever you want. Like you can make up a song in your library. And my alarm right now for the last couple of months has been Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits, which is the song that plays during the Hunter's funeral for Dean and stuff. And that just, for whatever reason, when that song hit, I didn't know. I don't know if Apples knew, but when I watched the finale, I didn't know they were going to play Brothers in Arms for that part, and I just lost it all over again. And so that song for sure, obviously, Carry On Wayward Son is something I still listen to and makes me smile. But I don't know if anything reminds me of my character so much as reminds me of the show, reminds me of the Winchesters, reminds me of Supernatural and my 15 and a half years standing across from this dude, kind of doing the show, telling the story, and traveling around the world and meeting you guys and gals. So I don't think anything reminds me of Sam Winchester specifically, but there are several songs that remind me of the Winchesters.
Yeah, I can't listen to Back in Black without just immediately kind of snapping into character. So I think AC/DC Back in Black is certainly one that represents Dean quite well. I also think that Don't Fear the Reaper because
yeah.
I think that one has a lot of just weighty points in our show.
Man, I was in the car on the way to set like a month ago, and Renegade came on, and I went onto YouTube and looked up like Supernatural Styx Renegade, the scene from Night Shifter. Yeah. And watched it. I was like, "That's good. That's good TV. Like that's
good TV." I know. I find myself, looking back on, whether it's a clip or a GIF or a meme or something that I catch on the internet. I saw a little. I think it was a little GIF of Dean chasing Dracula in Monster Movie, Stashwick. And I immediately was like, that was a fun show. That was a fun episode to do in a show that was never supposed to be fun. And so there are certain songs that immediately take me back to certain times in the show. I can't listen to Bob Seger Night Moves anymore. Without just thinking about you and I in the car driving, me dodging potholes, and then Don Payne-Show in the back with his sound equipment. We had our sound guy was in the trunk because he had to play back and also record our dialogue all at the same time. This was a free drive situation, so it was just Jared and I in the front seat, and then Don was literally in the trunk of the Impala. And anytime we hit a pothole or a bump or so, we were driving through a construction site. He would just send him soaring, and it almost like popped the trunk like several times. But yeah, there are certain songs throughout this show that will forever represent either the character, a moment, a scene, or the show in its entirety. And I think that speaks volumes to not only the show but also to our music producer and the music that represented us.
Yeah. All right, guys. I guess that's it. It was awesome to be able to talk to y'all in some crazy way, shape, or form.
I know, guys, just so you know, like Jared and I only see each other here, and we have gotten enough of that for our 3 lifetimes. So the fact that we can't see you is you can tell how well he and I just work off the cuff by ourselves. which is probably something that'll never change. And it'll something that I will always pride myself in. I love you, brother. Love all of you guys. I can't wait to see you guys in person soon. I miss hugs. I miss smiles. I miss laughter. I miss singing and voices and crowd and energy and all of that. And hopefully we can get all back to that soon. Here's hoping.
Yeah. Love you, brother. All right. Miss you guys.